way. They're not going to put a work.
We were here before when it was General Motors. So when they shut it down, this plant in '83, when I got laid off, the International Union, you know, in Detroit, and General Motors and Toyota got together.
Toyota peut-être au départ aurait préféré travailler sans syndicat, mais General Motors a réussi à les convaincre et ils ont en fait ça les a forcés à entrer dans un accord à trois un petit peu.
Basically, we had no choice. Is we came back, if we want to come back to work, we had to come back with those conditions. There were many things different from this to what we had been used to in General Motors. For example, in General Motors, we had a right to strike over work standards, production standards. We had a right to strike. This contract, we have no right to strike.
C'était clair dès le départ, quoi. C'est-à-dire qu'il y a une lettre qui a été envoyée à tout le monde, les invitant à postuler. Dans cette lettre, tout était expliqué en ce qui concerne l'adoption d'un nouveau système, l'abandon de certaines pratiques ou dérives qui avaient été propres à l'ancienne usine. Ils ont intégré dans le contrat ou dans la lettre d'intention l'acceptation justement du système TPS. Les points forts, c'était le juste à temps, le système Kanban, pour acheminer les pièces vers la ligne. Il y avait ce qu'on appelle le travail standard, standardized work, qui est quasiment une description tâche par tâche de ce que les gens ont à faire dans chacun des jobs qu'ils ont sur la ligne. Le travail standard et le Kaizen vont un peu de pair en fait. Si vous établissez des standards et vous les publiez clairement, ça vous permet de prendre du recul, de pouvoir analyser ces tâches et de pouvoir éventuellement les améliorer. On encourage les gens à ne pas laisser les défauts. Et le client, dans notre cas, c'est la personne qui travaille en aval de vous sur les lignes de travail. Donc ça implique tout un tas d'outils visuels ou sonores qui incitent les gens à appeler à l'aide quand ils perçoivent un problème. Ça force les gens à soulever les problèmes et non pas à les enterrer. Ça force aussi à essayer de comprendre d'où vient le problème.
Under Toyota production system, you have to try to reduce wasted time.
My name is Alex Hammer. I'll be 32 in August, in one more month. I've worked here about 7 years. You get bored. Yeah, it's, you know, from just constant repetitive. It can be very hard. If you're on certain jobs, there are certain jobs where people, they get hurt easier, and for some reason they haven't been able to fix the jobs good enough. My brother worked here for a few months, or not even a few months. He worked here for about a month, and He was on a job where it's just they had a high rotation, and he ended up quitting because he couldn't handle it. It was just too hard for him.
Our system also requires you to rotate jobs in a team, because if you don't rotate, you get hurt on the job, In GM, we never rotated.
I think rotation is important here because if we didn't have rotation, we'd have a lot of people going to medical because of injury due to repetitive movement versus where you can rotate and do another job for a couple of hours.
I think our production standards are too tight, Too much work is expected of one person.
This plan is hard work. It was hard work at General Motors when you worked. If this is not your cup of tea as far as work, they shouldn't be here. I don't feel. It's hard. It's not an easy job. But you get good money too.
We make contributions to increases in productivity more than any other auto plant in the United States. That's what I think. Not just physically, but mentally.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty versatile because, like I said, I bounce from team to team. I know, something like 21 jobs in our group. So I know more jobs than some of the team leaders themselves. And I like that. For one, it's a change. I'm not stuck in the same routine day in, day out. The disadvantages, sometimes I don't know where I'm going. I'll come in the morning and they'll say, I'm supposed to go to team 1, but we need you in team 3. So I gotta rush to go to that area, or, and I don't like that. I wish there was a little bit better communication on that part.
At the beginning, when I first became team leader, I had no patience. People would pull the cord and I go, what? And they look at me like, and then they put it again, I go, now what? Now they answer it and I go, and they always go, and then they tell me with the, I don't even talk to them no more, I just whistle to them and go, and they go, oh, blah, 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 and they tell me what's wrong. I'm over here telling them what to do, and they're looking at me like I'm their daughter. You're like, what, Hopefully I've gained their respect, but it was hard in the beginning. I mean, they used to tease me. They used to, you know what, honestly, they've been very helpful to me, because usually when you become a new team leader, be careful, because they play around with you.
So I was working for Nummi, but with a construction people, and they are cleaning stuff. So I saw the kind of work they do, and I get interested in my application, and they hire me after 2.5 years, and I didn't know nothing about cars. I stay here on the line for 6.5 years, but being a team member, you don't have a few of the company. Yes, you do 5 jobs, you come and do these 5 jobs every day. So I was tired already to do that. So I want something more open that can be moving, not only staying in one place. So that's why I became a team leader. Well, I start half an hour early before everybody. I come and do my torque. I check each station to see how they are, how many parts they have. I do my rotation, how they're going to be, take the numbers of the first track. Basically, that's the beginning of my routine. Today, I was online. I have 2 spots open, and I asked my team member. I put him in one job, and I put my name in another. And he come over and he goes, Sana, where I'm going to today. I go, I have 2 spots open, choose one. I give him the choice. When they have the choice, I give them the choice, because when I need to move them, they're going to think, well, she gave me the choice the last time, now she can give me the choice, I have to do that for her. They go and do it. I move them around and they don't say nothing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, before, terrible worker. I was a terrible worker. I hated my job. I hated coming to work. I hated being here. And when I became team leader, my whole attitude changed, because what I did was changing, and I hate just doing one job. I like to work with everybody. I've been on team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4, and team 5, the whole line. I like to work with people. I like to talk to them. I like to help. I like to do paperwork, my torques and stuff. I like to deal with that, deal with management. I mean, I just like to talk to people. So that's why I think it's more of a better job for me than team member.
We didn't even know actually what went into building a car next to here. I understand, and I'm taking more pride in what I'm building now than what I did back then.
I'm responsible for the entire final line in trucks, which starts way back there in Anna's team and runs all the way over there and even past it. So there's 38 team members. So it's a big group.
The team leaders' jobs are to run their individual teams, and my job is to actually run the entire group, but I use my team leaders to the best of my ability for them to help me, because it's virtually impossible for me to run the entire line by myself. Without teamwork, you're looking at a very chaotic, very difficult place. So you see a lot of people running around. You see the maintenance team members working on equipment. You see me talking to different team leaders, and it looks chaotic, and it's funny, it's a controlled chaos.
A good team leader is important. If you have a bad team leader, it can make your job a lot harder. It causes a lot more stress when you feel like there's nobody there to help you out. If you're having problems with other areas, it's important to have a good team leader, because they'll stay on other areas. They'll stay on the team leader or the group leader for you. But if you don't have a good team leader, you know things don't get taken care of in the station as well.
I started screaming and yelling, and this person didn't like it, and she walked away so mad, and I didn't notice. I did that. So I'm seeing that person mad. I said, "What's wrong with you? Why you are upset?" And I'm being, she's upset, throwing things on me, and I was like, "Why are you doing that?" And they're kind of, "I don't like you when you're doing that," I told them. And he goes, "Well, if you don't like this, why you do this to me?" I said, "Well, that's what I want to hear. What's wrong? What I did wrong, that I can fix myself and don't do it again. Try to don't do it again." And we come along later on.
I was a lieutenant in the Marine Corps, and coming from that type of environment, which is very authoritative type of government, and it's this actual little government where the leader, the commander, gives an order, and it's done like that, and it has to be, because you're dealing with lives if it's a battle situation. So the leader trains them to understand that once an order is given, It needs to be done right away. If not, people could die. Okay, coming from that and coming here, it's a completely different environment. It's something I really had to adjust to, because I was used to asking for things or asking for things to get done once. Here, you got to ask a couple times, and the main thing is communications. There needs to be a two-way street. The old automotive way was, check your brain in at the door, come into the plant and do what you're told. And I don't know how well it ran, but it probably didn't run as well as it does today. We can run 96%, 98, sometimes 99, sometimes 100%. And there's only one reason we do that. It's because the team members are working well together. So when I communicate with my team leaders and my team members, I never tell them to do something unless there's a disciplinary problem. I usually ask, and the first thing I normally do is I ask for their input. I go, what do you think about this? I'm getting the answers from them, and we jointly come together with a solution. And that's how this place works.
The way it's supposed to work is everybody's supposed to have their input on certain decisions, as far as, where a part's going to go or how you want the rack built or something. That's supposed to be everybody's decision. The problem is sometimes there's too many people and there's too many different opinions, and eventually it comes down to the group leader and the two team leaders making the decisions, and they really leave out the team members.
We're not really engineers, and most of us, at best high school educated, we don't know, all the different ways of doing things. So when we have a problem with some stuff, we don't know how to fix it, and you're kind of relying on management to find a way, or some of the engineers here to find a way.
I think Nummi made us communicate more. You didn't do that at General Motors.
The best way is the communication. I tried to be as fair and as honest, and just try to make it the best way for the team members and the best way for the company.
Everybody's here on the line is eventually going to need help. And, if you work as a team.
We help each other out. If we see somebody else who's in a hole or whatever, in a hole, I'm not sure if you know what that means, but it's, if they get behind in their job, everybody on our team will go help them out.
You have to look at why. Why is he not very efficient? Why is he always in the hole? Why is he pulling the cord constantly for assistance? Why is he stopping the line? Is he a new team member? If he's not a new team member and he's a veteran who's been here 5 or 6 years, you have to stand back and wonder, okay, why is he always in the hole? Maybe he's ill. He's sick, but he's not sick enough where medical will send him out. Slight fever maybe, nothing major, and they won't unable him, and he doesn't want to go home, but he wants to work. If I have the manpower, I'll find some other work for him. Maybe he can do some training on another job, or maybe he can actually train someone. Or maybe the particular job that he's on is one of the harder jobs and he needs a break just for that particular day. Got to be careful doing that, because if then everyone else wants it. Sometimes you have team members who just want to act around. They just don't feel like doing their work today. Well, then that's a disciplinary action. That's a disciplinary matter. That's me. So the things would be the manpower, the efficiency, the quality, and the equipment. Those are the biggest challenges that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
I think now more and more it's very, very important to have a right to strike over production standards.
I'm against the strike. I'm a worker.
The union, to me, is for lazy people.
We got the pattern. The auto pattern, 3% for 2 years, $2,000 upfront bonus, plus we got a fold-in the COLA. It's a good in terms of economics, I think we got a good economic package. We got early retirement. We got a package for the people that, see, normally you would have to retire at 65 to get medical benefits and full retirement. Now we made it possible we put a window period in the contract. If you were 57 and you had over 10 years seniority, you get full benefits plus medical. The other issue I think we should have is 30 years and out, retirement benefit. Like the rest of the auto, like GM, Ford, and Chrysler.
You got to go step by step, and now I'm over here. Next step is to become a team leader, and I'll have plenty of seniority to hold days. For me, and I have 2 kids, so I'd rather stay days for them. Because when you're on night shift, you don't see them. They're in school all day, and then you go to work all night.
Taking care of a family is a job, and then working a job is hard, and then working a job like this is just even harder. So that's what I mean about physical. Mentally, it's just having to deal with the men, having to deal with the pressures of being a woman, having to work here.
See, like my family is first than my job right now. So that's why I have to stay in the same place.
It seems too hard for me to go back to school right now because I got my kids.
I have two and a half more years to finish my degree.
Yeah.
So, when I complete my degree, then...
Nummi allows you 1 year off to take an educational leave, so I wanted to do that. Next August, take 1 year off and go to school. And if it works, keep going. If it doesn't, then come back to work here. But hopefully I don't want to come back.
I guess I'm gonna work for Nummi for a while. The benefits is good and holidays are good.
Nummi's a good place to work, for kind of, to make good money. But it's also a good place to like a stepping stone, to go to school. It's a good place to get better at yourself. They pay for a lot of schooling. One of my favorite subjects to learn online has been math, because you can get the concept. It'll give you a formula, so you can get the formula, real quick by looking at it. You know what I mean? The other thing I like about going to school when I'm working is it keeps your mind occupied. I'll have like 15, 20 seconds, which is plenty of time to read a paragraph or two. And before, when I would just work, you think about problems, you think about what you got to do at the end of the day. You're looking at the clock, going, got another 2 hours to go. But now it's a little different, because now I look at the clock and I got 2 hours, and it's like, oh, okay, I still got 2 hours to study,
I love music. I like to deal with business people, and business managing. I want to work in an office, have my paperwork, go to meetings, travel. I love all that. Talk to people, just